This is the Violent Professional Podcast.
I'm not gonna like ask you military questions. We're live, aren't we?
Sure.
Okay. So
I just like to start recording and not tell people so that there isn't awkwardness. But go ahead.
Okay. Well, my name's David. You may know me from a few episodes. More recently, episode 99.
And 69.
And in my own 69.
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what's 60. Done over 100. This is 101.
101, baby.
Yeah. I believe.
I'm gonna go ahead and I guess I'm leading this episode.
Sure, go ahead. This is your episode. You do great on all the episodes.
Do I?
Yeah.
I do great when I'm raging. Like when I've really got something I want.
So now you're chill. Now you're chill. It's not going to be a good episode.
I'm vibing right now.
Cool.
But yeah, I've got thoughts, ideas. I got a lot to get off my chest. You motherfuckers out there.
No. What do you have to get off your chest?
I don't know. I made a list.
So do it. Is this what the
Number one?
Is this what the future holds? What we're witnessing?
The world will feel my wrath.
Yeah. How do you wait? First off, how do you like this setup with the microphone stand and the? I'm borrowing it right now, but I've got 3 coming in, so we can sit around on these nice.
It's perfect
strip club couches.
Yeah, it would be nice with like a little table here.
What about a plant? I almost bought a plant today to put in the back.
Really?
Yeah.
Like behind here?
Like right there, yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to buy a fern.
A fern?
Yeah. They're on sale at Walmart.
Yeah, so I was going to listen, first things first. I am going to try not to use a lot of ums because I hate when fucking people do that.
That's tough.
Yeah, it's tough.
I bet I have collectively 1 million on collectively on all the episodes.
Yeah. So I'm gonna try to keep my ideas clean and concise and palatable to the average listener. First things first. For those of you who do not know me, well, nobody knows me.
Nobody knows.
If you know me, I probably need to get a restraining order because I've been on maybe 6 episodes, so nobody really knows me. But, there we go again.
Who gives a fuck? Keep going.
We can just edit that out.
No, I'm not.
Okay. There you go.
You're gonna be the first person that sees these live and in action, dude.
So my format is a little bit different. Whiskey Mike came to me once, many years ago, and more like maybe a week ago or 2. And you don't look like the Unabomber in any way.
I don't. I love him though.
There we go. My format's a little bit different. Whiskey Mike essentially proposed an idea that we somewhat go in the podcast network area or begin that sort of thing where maybe I would be managing my own podcast. My format is a little bit different. I don't intend to I don't have a comedic approach. My thoughts and ideas are more based around things I notice in society and just general commentary.
Keep going. I'm all ears.
Yeah, you're sitting over there.
Do I need to take this shit off?
No, you're good. Okay. Yeah. Just basically commentary on society, pop culture. I try to stay away from politics too much because, I mean, the last thing the world needs is another voice out there.
Are you going to be, you said pop culture. Are you going to be talking about like Katy Perry and shit?
No, but I had this
entertainment news.
No. I was more or less thinking like you and I have tossed around the idea before in the past where we comment on YouTube videos that may not be current right now, but these were YouTube videos.
But this is the videos he is talking about are like the pre-algorithm, like if your shit was funny, like people knew about
organic,
it.
Right?
It wasn't like you paid for any of the views. Yeah. It's like there's some because there's like you've seen the videos. There's some that are popular that aren't funny, and they just somehow become fucking popular and they're not funny. Like it's like the spirit of truth. Y'all motherfuckers need Jesus.
The spirit of truth is one, yeah. But these were videos that sort of captured the attention of the Western civilization for a brief period before, algorithms prevented.
Do you remember that fucking panda sneezing video? And it was like,
which one was that?
It was like one of the first YouTube videos where a panda sneezed. It was a baby panda and it sneezed, and the mother went, whoa, and it like looked at the panda. And that was a fucking viral. That was like one of the most viral,
very natural
videos.
Yeah,
as a fucking 10-second video of a panda sneezing.
Back when you could
that would never happen these days.
Yeah, or like the piano cat, like
yeah. It's a guy in a hoodie.
good quality shit.
Yeah.
Right. So that's several ideas. I would be curious, and if you hear this, feel free to comment and propose ideas. All comments will be read. And if you have anything you want to suggest, I would implore you, if that is a word. By the way, one other
too goddamn sophisticated.
No. I will say this. One thing that you are going to hear from me saying repeatedly is, don't quote me on this. I don't know for sure. Okay. Feel free to fact check me. I'm going to do the best I can to convey accurate information. I'm not in the bullshit, sphere of like just putting shit out there that I don't know shit. This is all just my fucking opinions, my perspective, and hopefully out there. I am also going to refer to a lot of other podcasts that I've heard. So
keep going. Oh, it's good.
okay.
With the yellow glasses, I can't tell if shit's recording.
No, you're good. Yeah, it looks like it's recording.
These glasses keep me happy and shit. Yeah. I drive around and I pick up my son from school.
Like that?
And he's like, why do you have to wear those glasses? I was like, because it makes me happy.
You got the principal.
Don't I look great?
Coming out there. She's like, it's like a police officer there.
It was like, hey, Jax, go get more of your friends and I'll pile up in the back of the truck.
Fill up the truck. You're going to hear me refer to a lot of other podcasts that are out there. And the only reason I say that is because I think ideas are extremely fucking important, especially nowadays. You may or may not necessarily resonate with those ideas, but I am going to refer to other people just because I've noticed that like maybe we share the same ideas kind of thing. So that being said, yeah. So I've got thoughts on a lot of things. So
let's kick it off. What was the late do you have more?
No.
To introduce?
No, I have nothing more to introduce other than I kind of felt like maybe episode 99 I bogarted the whole thing because I was like running my fucking chops and you guys sat back and listened to my
No, you didn't. You were doing great, but
right. So I've got thoughts on everything from politics to divorce to family court system. You can tell where this is going to go.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Are we getting into the? I'll let you go, but are we getting into any of that?
No, not today. No. Yeah, we're not going to go that far. But yeah, just general thoughts on, where things are at, where they're going, where they've been. I mean, I think everybody can agree this world is absolutely fucking upside down. And for me personally, I always kind of just relate everything to sort of the 90s because that's when times were like fucking normal. But
the 90s were normal?
I think so. What would you say? You think the 90s were normal? I mean, that's back when sweaters and
what were we talking about today? The 80s being fucking crazy? It's a weird time.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. The 80s were weird. The video of like dancing, finger popping, and fucking jumping in front.
Yo, it's awesome.
Doing
get
all
that
shit.
Jordache look.
Jordache look.
You need that Jordache look.
Right? Like
that dude that like takes his shirt off real quick. He's like, oh.
Yeah, like it's so but it's so fucking innocent though. Like it's such an innocent time. Like I think that's probably also to what America is now experiencing is there's a loss of innocence that's happening with the world and how divided everything is.
Well, because everybody's got social media, and now you can see like pretty much your grandma's butthole on OnlyFans. So it's like,
right.
Like why are we losing all this innocence? It's because of shit like that.
Yeah, and it goes kind of back to remember. I don't know if you remember this, you and Mark, but like remember I sent to you the Instagram, YouTube advertisement video, right?
Yeah,
and it was extremely. If you were to sort of within 30 seconds. put everything that you hate into Instagram? Like why social media in general?
I think I yelled when I saw that video. Yeah. It was just a loud no.
Yeah.
And everybody's like,
yeah. And if you're out there, just go on YouTube and look up Instagram commercial ad, right? And it's the same thing every single time. It's this, they don't make any bones about it. They cater to narcissism. They cater to fucking, the need for self-expression, and
dude, it's more than the video is so nauseating to me because I hate that shit. I hate that side of social media. And it's look at me. It's more than just like self-expression.
Right.
It's like people get so angry about like,
right.
Look at me. I need to be an influencer. Like this is my job. Like, you've seen people do that where they like make themselves an influencer and they're like, this is my job. Like I have the algorithm's fucking me. And
way more over sense of self.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And it's like
people need to know I exist.
Right. But like, the nefarious joke about all that is that, hey, kid living in fucking Chicago who thinks you got fucking something to say and you want to rap about it, joke's on you. They fucking got you. They got you fucking hooked in that fucking universe. They got your data. They got you. And guess what? You think you matter. Wow. Isn't that something? Imagine a corporation out there that's got you fucking convinced that you think you fucking matter. And that
people matter.
People do matter. Yes. Yeah. People absolutely do matter on a human, right. But this is not the fucking like, not online. Like the reality that you want to fucking create matters to you and your ego. It doesn't fucking matter to the rest of the fucking world, and joke's on you. Yeah. So anyway,
I always think it's funny with people focused on numbers and whatnot, and you see people with millions of followers, and if you actually look at it, and like they feel like they're celebrities, but if you look at like some rap stars or pop stars, they get 1 million downloads or whatever, and they're famous, right?
Yeah.
But I always thought it was funny. It's like 1 million is nothing compared to the global population. So it's like you're not actually, and like I have way less followers than that. So I'm like,
yeah, like what is the population?
I can relate
of Seattle?
to like
less than 1 million, or more than 1 million.
What's that?
Yeah, but the population of Seattle is more than 1 million. So yeah, right. Yeah, you're a drop in the fucking pond.
Yeah, but
right.
It's like,
yeah,
that's an accomplishment, right? You get 1 million followers, especially with like people doing it these days with the algorithm,
right?
I mean, a lot of people are like, they're in the certain demographic that's going to get them where they need to go. But it's like, they put so much weight on those numbers, and it's like, that doesn't mean shit, really.
Right.
Like,
so
even if you're making a ton of money off it, it's like, it doesn't mean shit. Like you and your self-expression is great.
Right.
There's like half of those people fucking hate you or more. You know?
So if you go back, like just social media talking, go back to like MySpace, right? Like MySpace, they did this thing where like, and I never had a MySpace account, but I learned what it used to. So you could have, I think it was up to 500 like friends on MySpace. And then what you got to do,
there was a cap on it?
There was a cap on it, right. And then you got to pick your 5 favorites just to really get your fucking
top 9, bro, or 8.
Top 8, right. Yeah. And you get your like social group all fucking angry at themselves because, why not your fucking top 5?
Yeah.
Right. And then what happened?
Or if you remove somebody from the top 5? Yeah. That was like the first or top 8.
Real relationships would suffer if that happened, right?
Yeah. That's a weird concept. Like, you think about MySpace as being pretty peaceful and stuff like that because, like,
back in the day, right?
You know, Tom never did this shit, and it's just a dorky picture of him in front of a blackboard or a whiteboard.
Poor Tom.
But it's like that was like the first instance of making people pissed off to get people to look. People would look back at your page to see if like they were your top friend.
Yeah.
Then all those other fucking schlubs were pushed in the fucking.
Oh, you're 99, motherfucker. Get in the back there, yeah.
You don't even have a fucking rank.
Yeah, and then like what? So you got to look at like social media as it's evolved. Like it's completely solved the problem of the previous platform. So like Facebook then came out like in 2008. It really kind of took off. You got like more of a higher cap in friends. Like you were allowed to like really make thousands of them, right?
Yeah.
And so that then created wow, like there's a social currency out there. Like if I go to like a nightclub, right? And I give a chick like my profile, right? Oh, there's follow me on Facebook, right? And I've got 5,000 followers or 10,000 followers, like friends or whatever.
You did hear that too, where people were like, I've got this many friends. Like,
right. You were going to get pussy. Like, you know what I mean? Versus the poor schlub who's only got 200 of his jack off buddies, right? The real fucking guy out there. So, and then Instagram, from what I've seen, you can just straight up fucking pay for that shit now.
Yes.
You want to fucking go out there and look like a fucking stud and shit, you know, just pay, like, you know, and that's what it's turned into. Nothing more than that, you know. And I think
who is it? There's a guy, I believe he's in the gun he's in the shooting industry. But he has hundreds of thousands of followers, which is a big number. Like, that's a good number to have, hundreds of thousands, which, like we were saying, it doesn't mean shit because it's a drop in the bucket. But he'll have like fucking 25 likes. It's like, what is actually happening on your profile?
Exactly. So the question you need to ask is, when you look at somebody on social media, you ask what is organic and what is not organic. And that's really the question that nobody can ever get an answer on.
And then there's the problem, which I have, is you have organic followers, but then the bots start filling up a lot of this shit because I have paid for, especially the old Aries profile, like I've paid for fucking ad space, which is different than just straight up buying, like going to a fucking website and go, I need 20,000 followers.
Right.
If those bots that, like, you know, they comment on your shit, see your stuff, and then they start following you, because they'll do that too.
Yeah.
These fake fucking profiles. It's like, how many fucking bots does your profile have?
Yeah.
You know? And then it's like, those are the ones that are seeing it or not seeing it, and they're just using it for fucking data or whatever.
Yeah. And by the way, I mean, it's like, if that's your thing, so be it. Yeah. Like, that's not a, just call it for what it is, you know? But like, I think the bigger message here is to, like, maybe just do an experiment, turn your shit off for a month, go out there and fucking rekindle real relationships with people, and like, not like, you know, social media is not the end all be all, you know? And it's like, I mean, like, should we, I don't know what your thoughts are on sharing names and shit. I don't like to share names.
Don't share names.
Don't share names. Yeah. Okay. I don't want to give anybody.
Keep it a mystery, so I don't even know what we're talking about.
Well, I'll say he likes kidneys, and he's a prince. He's the kidney prince. So yeah. Guy went from,
who might you be talking about? Is this man eating a lot of dinner? He's the dinner king?
He's the kidney prince.
The dinner king has made another appearance.
Right?
I am the kidney king.
He went from, like, it was like January of this year. I watched this shit, right? 36,000 followers on Instagram, right?
Yeah, and before that it was way less too.
He hit 100,000, and then he celebrate. And he's at 1.2 million now.
Fucking quick as fuck, dude.
Like,
quick as fuck.
Within one quarter.
Unrealistically quick as fuck.
1.2 million, yeah. And
that's insane, bro.
Man, your content's fucking fire, bro. Like, dude, what can I do to...
In no way is it exactly the same every time.
Right. And
is the trick to just say you don't take steroids, but actually, like, you say one thing and then you do the complete opposite, and then people are like, bro, but like, literally, there's no fucking way.
Yeah.
It's like, you do. It's like, oh, you want to know if I do or don't? Let me vaguely dance around the question.
And he's done that. Like, I've been accused of many. Let me go through my educational. He actually did one where he went through his educational background. Yeah, there's a sports science bachelor's degree and shit. It's like, it's
fucking weird. This dude is making. He hasn't been on any podcast from what I know,
right?
But it's like he's showing up in people's podcasts because everybody's like, "What the fuck is wrong with this situation?"
People are talking about him, and I mean, listen,
his following is growing like way faster than anything I've seen before. And like, you could be like, he's paying for that shit. There's no fucking way. This day and age, and especially because I know how the fucking thing works when it comes to a business profile, they don't allow you to get fucking big unless you pay them.
Right?
They don't. They just don't allow it.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, like, if you have a post that you might have had a post that like did well, like a meme or something like that, and all of a sudden it's like, this one you could get more exposure if you pay us $5.
I've gotten those, yeah,
that's exactly what happens. And then when like it's really like going quote unquote viral, whatever that is this day, they shut it down.
Yeah,
it's an algorithm.
It's regulated.
So like that's the one thing that like is annoying to me is like I put in so much fucking effort in my content,
right?
And then you see like, and I'm not like jealous of people. I'm just saying like it's annoying when those people deny what the fuck's happening.
Yeah.
Like they pay for their fucking followers. Yeah. Everybody that's huge doesn't get it free.
Right? Yeah. And but like look,
and it's a dirty lie that people fucking tell that they just I'm this fucking important. It's like, no bitch, you fucking paid for it.
Well, here's the trick though. This is the scam. So like the guy, like the kidney prince, we'll call him. He is
Kidney boy.
He's running a business, and so there's some truth to what he's saying. There's if you get any quality from it or any whatever, but the joke is the jack off kid from fucking inner urban Chicago who fucking thinks he's gonna be a SoundCloud rapper. That fucker he's on the come up. He's going to dump a whole bunch of fucking energy and time and everything into this thing that essentially you're not going to get anywhere. So you better dust off your resume. You better fucking go back to the old way of doing things. Like, I don't know. It's I don't know.
It's really like, it's hard. I think I'm mostly annoyed with people that lie about it.
What do you mean?
It's not that
give me an example of a lie, like, or at least some sort of manipulation.
Like saying you're self-made in the terms of like you got those million followers. Like,
you mean Dan Bilzerian?
Well, whoever. Yeah. You said you don't like.
Well, I mean,
saying names,
he's
but
never going to hear this.
No, I'm saying like the people that pretend like they didn't pay for the shit. Yeah. You have to. You absolutely have to. There's no fucking
Which
other
is
way.
Fine, right?
That's the annoying part. It's not that I actually don't get annoyed with the fucking social media thing. It's like that's a smart business plan to shut off people's views.
Zuckerberg,
so that people have to pay, so that they fucking. One of my problems is I refuse to pay. And I'm just like fucking. I'm happy with the ones I got, man.
So the cap limit on Facebook is 500 friends. You can only have, I think, total of 500 friends. It's
I don't know.
It's either 1,000 or 500, right? Instagram solved that problem by having 1.9 million. You can now have
50 million.
Right? Like, come on, people, open your eyes.
I have 8.5 billion fans. That's not even real.
If you follow 1.5 million people in your Instagram account, right? Do you think you're going to see 1.5 million people's bullshit in your feed? Like, you're never going to touch 1% of that, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, anyway, and I think, I honestly, I think it's the death of this shit. I don't think this shit's going to be here in 5 to 10 years.
It's hard to believe that people will, with like I'm annoyed about certain things with it, and it's like people get annoyed about, like, they feel like they're becoming celebrities.
Right.
It's one of the things like that I found out. I like looked at TikTok, and it's like they pick certain age groups to become famous. Because it's the best way. Ooh, that's why, like, you see a lot of really uninteresting fucking people become famous, and then they take that and they roll it into another profile, and then they get millions of followers because those people like follow me, but it's like usually half or whatever.
So, like, in layman's terms, what you're saying is like, what they'll do is they'll cherry pick a demographic and they'll allow that demographic to become more viral, so as to keep the next generation of younger participants in the system.
It is usually younger people. You don't see 40-year-old dudes with like videos of microwaving food and the fucking which, to some respect, the shit's way more funny and interesting than a lot of the shit out there.
Right, like the thing.
People that are fucking lip syncing and lip talking over dumb shit.
Yeah,
and then fucking like they're literally just. That's their thing. They're just sitting in a fucking chair going, I had a bad day today. And it's like fucking from something else. It's like, that is I can relate to that. They had a bad day. Because they've got millions of views on it. It's like, get fucked, man. Get fucked.
So, like, right now, as of, what's the date today? Today is the March 11th of 2022. The thing that just hit the fucking zeitgeist right now is the 10 things you can do on TikTok that will help Ukraine. Right. And so that's like a thing right now. So and again, it's
maybe all those fucking likes and synchronized dance moves you do will deflect all the MLRS shots, dude.
Sure, yeah, because Russians just fucking listen. Oh my God, there's a 13-year-old in Miami dancing.
Wait, Dmitry, did they pray for Ukraine? Fuck.
So, but it really does speak to what you're saying, which is like, it's fascinating because as a business model, you would want to do that. You want to appeal your product to the younger generation because that secures your future as a business. That's who's going to be investing. It ain't going to be, guy like, how old are we? Like 39, 40?
Yeah.
Like we're fucking old as shit. Like you don't want to listen to our crusty asses. We only have 40 years of fucking experience on this earth. And like, God forbid,
I mean, maybe it'd be better if we started dancing. Like we could do that as our next thing. We could get you, me, and Mark and do synchronized dances. Over
like,
TikTok.
Let's not talk about divorce and how to fucking circumnavigate the family system. Yeah. Let's fucking just dance.
Wait, is your thing going to be about like getting around the court system? And
scamming? No. Just a little bit of a background with me.
Did we have any other topics about TikTok or social media?
Not that I think of. Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, we're going to shift gears
Continue.
here. So, just a quick little tidbit about me. I do not have any military experience. If you are a veteran or a military background, this is feel free to listen, but this is going to be not another military podcast involving somebody that fucking ever served. Rather, I've been in the private sector for almost 17 years. I own a business. I'm not going to mention my business.
You know what
I'm in the
this is
financial
doing,
services sector.
These
right?
these motherfuckers are going. He's a military dude.
Not at all.
Tell, bro.
No, never. No. I am fortunate enough to know this handsome gentleman who did serve. Hence, this is his podcast. I come from a military family. My father retired 25 years as an RN in the Army, and we traveled every 3 years. So I know the military family life, but this is all pre-GWAT era. But other than that, I have a bit of business experience background, and I'm not going to really go more into that. But yeah, so
you lived a life.
Well. Yeah. No. Yes. To answer,
yes. No. Yes.
To your comment about like circumnavigating the family court system, I'm not in the legal industry. I am not giving out any legal advice in any way. I know absolutely fucking nothing, bro science, and that's about it. If you fucking think you need help, go get an attorney. But I will share my experiences. My experiences out there. Some of you guys may relate to that. Some of you may not. If you agree with me, great. If you disagree with me, great. Who cares? Other than that, yeah. So this is, yeah. So
where are we going from here?
Well, that's all I got.
That's it. We're done.
No,
we'll see you on the next episode.
So yeah, I think, yeah.
Do you have it?
Yeah.
Do you have anything written down?
No, because I'm not fucking doing my episodes. This is
your episode.
This is not a pilot episode.
Okay. Yeah, I know that. But
right.
I thought we were gonna do talk about some stuff.
Well, okay. Let me go back here real quick, and so I guess let's see here. So you guys,
this is about the time Mark's listening to this episode now, and he's gonna
Mark's just
send
talking
DMs.
Shit, right? Yeah, Mark's gonna fucking all right. So my relationship to Mark and Mike, Mark I've known for almost 30 years now, him and his family. It's fucking been a long ass time. I'm fortunate enough to know Mike maybe circa 2016, 17. I don't know when I met you. It's been a while.
It's been a fucking while.
It's been a minute. Yeah. Like I first remember you at the gym, and then I was drunk with Daniel and Mark, and we were fucking wrestling in your gym.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So I was going through a divorce myself at the time, and I was living in my gym.
Mm-hmm.
I had an office there.
Mm-hmm.
Gym / screen printing.
You had a nice little setup. I was kind of impressed.
Dope. Yeah. I got tired of doing the membership thing with people, and eventually I was just like, "You all are cool. You can stay here and work out, and then I'm gonna fucking sleep in my office." and then the screen printing stuff kicked off, and then somewhere along the line, like I met you, and you were drunk, and
I was
going through a divorce as well.
I was going through and you were sitting back. I remember this, like we were wrestling, like which is a little bit different than wrestling.
Yeah, I had like these little tiny mats, and you guys were using those. And
dude, it was perfect.
They were like those folding mats, like just small for.
And you were sitting back, and I remember you were sitting back just eating hard-boiled eggs. Like, what the
I was eating hard-boiled eggs,
and you were putting like hot sauce on them. You're like,
oh, was I?
You were just like looking like, who the fuck are what's going on here? Like, this is interesting. Like, you were
That's
just
not
like,
what happened.
You were fixated. I was like,
I think I was taking a video of it.
Were you filming?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, dude, I'd love to see that video.
I don't have it anymore.
Okay. That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
But, so the relationship with Task Dev, I kind of came into the whole Task Dev thing maybe in 2016 as the Climb team was being formed in 16.
Yeah, so some people don't know what Task Dev is.
Oh, okay.
We don't really talk about it too much on that. But it's a nonprofit that helps veterans do outdoors cool shit.
Yes.
And
right. So that was like in 2016. And I think the thing really kind of blew up in like 17 is when it was like at its
18.
Was it 18?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was at its like height, and
before it came crashing down.
Well, it's
a bunch of shitty people attached to it.
Right.
No,
yeah.
Just kidding. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Cats be kidding me.
Yeah, we're not gonna. All right.
Anyway,
one day we'll fucking call everybody out for who they are.
One day.
No.
One day you're gonna get it. So start sending your arrows my way right now.
No, like so. Yeah, that's kind of my thing. Yeah, like we have a lot of good memories with the whole Climb team thing, and just fun, like a lot of relationships built, and things like that. But, yeah, I think I probably wanted to make this a little bit of maybe who I am, if that's something.
That's fine.
Yeah. But that's me. So other than that, I've got thoughts and ideas. I'm still going back and forth on what to fucking call this thing.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. You just got to get an episode out.
Right. But other than that, I mean, yeah. So
what type of things are you going to talk about? Is one of them why you like fucking micro brews and IPAs?
That's what happens when you live in like Washington for so long. No, I like micro brews because they're strong. They have a lot of gravity, by the way, and that's another thing too. Anytime you see gravity like being advertised, yeah, that's like a thing. Like,
what does that mean? Entertain me.
Yeah, gravity, you'll see that term float around in sort of the IPA world and essentially what it's code for is alcohol. Like, it's fucking like, how do we get drunk without...
Oh, so how do you hit the floor faster?
Right.
Yeah,
like
more gravity?
Exactly, yeah. So, yeah. And that's, so, yeah, I like IPAs. I think they're fucking good. Like, it's better than that, like Coors Light,
I don't even know anymore.
Yeah, you're done. Long. You don't even know. Like, you're gonna have one, and you're gonna be fucking blitzed.
But I do replace like I just decided
that
I was gonna stop drinking because I was like tired. I was like drinking every fucking day, which is whatever.
Right.
It's not that much I was drinking, but I would wake up feeling like shit. And I would like as the week went on, I felt more and more shitty.
Yeah.
And then it just continues. I felt super shitty.
Right.
And then I got COVID and just stopped, and it's been a few months. It's not that I'm against
was COVID
it.
Like the thing
Yeah. I was just like, I'm not going to drink because every so often I'd be like, I'm not going to drink. I'm going to go to sleep.
Because you were going to drink, but then COVID was like,
COVID
why
hit.
make yourself fucking feel like absolute shit?
Well, I just was like, I have COVID, and this won't help me get better. So I took a bunch of vitamins and shit.
How long did it take for you to get over COVID?
3 days.
Was it really?
Yeah, it was. And it was like, this is going to get a label on this thing. Is COVID even a thing anymore? Like,
no, it's Ukraine.
So, it's been replaced by other shit.
So,
like, it just fucking stopped one day. Like, it just stopped. I woke up, like, I was like,
oh, done.
For the 3 or 4, maybe it was like a week. I don't know. But I was like shitty every day. And I was like, what if this gets worse? Like, maybe I shouldn't have been talking so much shit this whole time.
God's judging.
And then it just kind of stopped, and it was like the same level, like for fucking however long I had it.
Yeah.
And then one day I woke up and it was completely gone.
Yeah.
And I was like I was like, what? What just happened?
Do you figure you probably had Omicron, right?
I don't fucking know.
Well, did you lose your smell and your taste and shit? No, nothing. Okay, yeah, all right. So I had the original Alpha variant, and then I had Omicron twice. Like, it fucking sucked.
How the fuck did you have twice?
Because like
you didn't get tested.
I tested positive for the Alpha variant back in like September, and then like more recently I had COVID. I just tested positive. It doesn't tell you if it's Omicron or not. You just kind of have to go off of what everyone's talking about, right? But yeah, like I mean, it's not a thing, and like it's weird how like nobody's talking about COVID anymore magically. Like it's
around here they are.
Right. Well, yeah. So this is kind of what I want to talk about. Like
you want to give a taste of the what are we? How can we say this? The men in society. Do you want to give a taste
of
the ones
who continue to wear masks? You mean
just like that? The weak male,
the Northwest man, the indigenous Northwest man with a patchy beard.
Do you want to get into any of that?
Yeah, let's talk about that. So
give them a taste, and then
yeah. So like okay, so first things first. If you're probably living in Russia because we for some reason have a lot of Russian fucking listeners.
Whatever reason. I don't know. It just came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Kind of like their fucking invasion.
In the Northwest. In the Northwest, which the Northwest, if you understand Washington, right? Washington has been traditionally, really since the tech boom in the mid-90s, has been a very prosperous area. And so this is an area that's really been very prosperous. It's kind of, I don't know, it's like super... You always have a job here. You always have financial security here. You always have something in the either tech industry or you just have a job here, right? And there is a indigenous male here that dwells amongst the Northwest area.
Are you gonna be? Oh, I'm not even.
Well, it all. See, the thing. The thing is, yeah. Go ahead.
Are you going to talk about what I said before the low life shit? Are you bringing that up?
No. That's a subculture. So like, okay. So what in all of this shit is interconnected, people. Everything is interconnected from politics to pop culture to fucking socioeconomic fucking lifestyle. Wherever you're living, geography. Like here's an example. Like I was once asked, right? I have a background in financial planning a little bit. And one of my proctor one time who gave me my designation once asked me this question. And he's a good guy. This is up in the Mercer Island area back when I took the exam and shit. And it took me, by the way, 4 years to complete a 1-year fucking program.
Wow.
Yeah, because I'm an idiot. But like he asked me, he goes, why do politics seem to lean left on the coastal states, right? Like why does coastal states tend to lean blue and you got your Midwest tends to lean red? Like, why is that?
Yeah.
And I said to the guy, well, it's very simple. It's prosperity. It's income. And what happens is if you look at like commerce, right? And I know Mark will probably agree with me on this. If you look at like coastal states have like a really rich history of importing and exporting international goods, right? There's harbors, right? There's a fuck ton of money that circulates through coastal states. And that leads to prosperity. And by the way, all this stuff's good, right? It's all good.
Prosperity is good.
Prosperity is good, right? But I believe that what a normal part of human nature is once a human being has everything a human being needs, I believe that a human being starts going, well, how can we give to other people? I think there's an altruistic mechanism built into the human psyche that humans have, right? When you have enough of shit, right? Plenty of shit, surplus, right? Your next thing is, well, like, how can I give, right? And thus leads to voting for the Democratic Party.
Okay.
Right. So you have
is that 100% all the time?
No. And by the way, I'll say there's no absolutes to anything I'm saying.
Because they could get in the conversation of the World Economic Forum and stuff like that, where they just want you to not have anything.
Well, okay, so sure, you're talking about like this is what everything is turned into now. We have a fucking system at the top, right? Where you have the absolute most rich and powerful and elite now congregating with the absolute rich and power and elite going, hey, listen, we're all good people here in the room, but we know a few things that old Whiskey Mike doesn't know, and we're gonna fucking tell Whiskey Mike how to live his life, and we're gonna introduce legislation and public policy that's gonna help Whiskey Mike live a better life. Because what does he know, right? That's what you're seeing now, right? You're seeing that whether it's the Bilderberg Group, whether it's the fucking World Economic Forum, Project 21, right? What is it called?
It's the Agenda
21, right? Yeah. By the way, I've not really actually investigated 23. Yeah. But I mean, these are all social agenda programs that are, whether or not they're intended for good or not, really the unintended consequences is they encroach on your life and your personal ability to make your own choices. Right. Yeah. So, that being said, they
don't have, mostly it's disregard for the fact that you want to live a free life.
Yeah.
And they don't give a shit about that.
Right. And so you're going to see power structures. I mean, I'm not a conspiracy theorist at all. I don't think people should even think like that because I think it leads down dark roads. But those
are the best thoughts, man.
I know, but I don't like to mention Alex Jones too much because he has kind of a bad reputation. But I'm curious to find the website out there that says, how much Alex Jones was correct. Like, I'm sure there's a lot he was correct about.
Yeah.
Like he was when he named his show InfoWars, he was kind of on to something almost well over 10 years ago, right? Because aren't we in like the information war age now?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So, yeah, like, I mean.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Right. So, riddle me this, motherfuckers. Like, are we not in the information war age right now? We have to literally turn off mainstream media and we have to seek sources. Like, I'm literally, where I get my news is either Twitter or Instagram. And I go to fucking boots on the ground guys, like, guys who are in Ukraine, who are fucking, putting out recruiting ads going, hey, listen, you want to come join? I got a rifle for you, But, sorry, you look like you got something to say.
No, I have nothing to say. I'm just listening to you.
I'm just venting right now. So, I think it's a smart thing for people to not get mired up in anger over power structures. I don't think these, it is, Bill Gates. I mean, what you're seeing also too, and what gets people angry, dude, is the hypocrisy. Like,
oh, absolutely.
Right. When Bill Gates is fucking plowing somebody outside of his marriage and yet going and pushing vaccination, it's like,
he's putting that jab in there,
right?
His little fucking shriveled up wiener,
his nerd dick.
Yeah, it's like you're saying. It's like,
sorry,
I don't know. I watch, that shit's force fed to you over social media and it, like I think I responded and I said, I just got really fucking angry, and there's no reason because we're all fucked and we're a part of this fucking system. You can't stop it. Like, as much as you want to stop it, they're already rolling this shit out, and it's like there's so much chaos, and you could think like, why is everything so divided? And it's like by design to be divided because they actually have control of everything. I think the whole Illuminati, New World Order shit, it's right in our faces now, but they've done an amazing job of making everybody that says that they exist a conspiracy theorist. They just go by different names, such as World Economic Forum.
Right, and you notice,
which isn't as intimidating as a fucking
Illuminati.
Yeah, Illuminati.
Right, yeah.
Which seems like a satanic
That was
cult.
very 2012.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, so it changes, guys. Like, look at patterns and look at how things change. And what it is we are all struggling as a fucking culture and as a species. Like Mike is bringing up a really awesome example. Like you're in sensory overload. You're getting fucking information pumped in from all different directions, and you don't know how to disseminate what's real and what's not real, and it's overload central. And so you have to control the flow of information now because it's technology. It's so.
Do you remember when you had to go to the library and get Encyclopedia Britannica?
Yeah, I bet half you fuckers don't know what a card catalog is. Like,
what a fucking dumb idea! Like, it's a brilliant business. Make a bunch of encyclopedias.
Yeah,
And then you have to update them every year, and it's like you could get a subscription. These things cost $50,000.
Was that what it was?
No, it was expensive.
It was super. Mortals couldn't afford it.
Encyclopedia subscriptions. I remember. My mom had encyclopedias. We had this, and you just go like, I want to learn about a fucking butterfly, a monarch butterfly, and you like go in there
before the interwebs.
Yeah, because there was no internet back then.
So and I mean, one entity controlled the flow of information. Yeah,
and you'd like read that fucking encyclopedia. You're like, man, this thing fucking goes. It goes from fucking Canada to Mexico. That's fucking crazy. I need to take a nap. That's so much information. But now it's like just fucking someone's like it's like someone's standing over you like, you want more fucking information? And they're just like, eat it, bitch.
Yeah. Like so, like what is the competitor to Wikipedia? Would be the example. Like I don't know. Like
I don't know.
Like, why is Wikipedia always asking for money, those broke fucks? They're the number one Encyclopedia Britannica for, like, the world. Like, what is it,
Is Encyclopedia Britannica a thing anymore?
No. Like, you're 99.
Is that 100% factual?
Let's find out real quick.
Do you have internet, or are you still on the...
I do have internet, so... Encyclopedia Britannica. Oh, it is a thing. It's number 2 on my DuckDuckGo search. Amazon.com. You can buy Legacy Encyclopedia Britannica.
I have many leather-bound books.
Yeah,
smell of rich moss.
Which leads me to another thought, like the Zoom culture, right? All the Zooming we've been doing for the last 2 years.
Yeah.
How the intellectuals amongst us, whenever they make a Zoom call, it's always with what in the background? Like a fucking encyclopedia of fucking books.
I blur my background out.
Right. Like, if you're just a fucking normal person, just blur your background. Like,
people use books a lot? They use encyclopedias?
They do. And if you look at, like, Zoom calls, like the health experts that appear on fucking local news that I hate.
That have just disappeared out of nowhere in the past fucking week.
Where's Fauci, by the way?
I don't know.
You ever heard of Fauci anymore?
No, I made an awesome video.
Did you?
Where he was, like, that funny little music video I made.
Yeah.
Dr. Fauci, give us vaccines.
Oh my God.
What did I say? Dystopian agenda you have foreseen.
Oh my God.
Dude, people didn't know that was me making that. That was my music.
It looked like he was singing it.
Yeah, because I added sound effects. Yeah, it sounded like...
So Encyclopedia Britannica actually is attempting to be the competitor to Wikipedia. You can go on there and actually look up shit. So...
Let me see what you got.
Right there. There's Encyclopedia Britannica.
They sell books though, right?
They do. You got to go on Amazon if you're going to buy their fucking, their like,
okay.
Well, there's for kids and then there's all these other stuff. So, it's interesting though. Like you start looking at the sources of information, how you're getting them and how it's being given to you, because algorithms are dictating your fucking thought process now, and, yeah, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, you're all fucked. So
it is crazy that you're told what to think and people just believe it. Like that. Like today, I'm DM'd you guys and I was like, it's like, how many of these motherfuckers are going to keep this mask shit going on? Or how many of them are going to, these quote unquote men are going to take their mask off, which it ends tomorrow. It's been over for a bunch of places, but they're going to take that shit off tomorrow.
Right.
They're like, I did my part, and all like thinking
they'll be sanctimonious about it. Like everything helped, right? Mission complete.
And then those that just keep it on, and it's like, whatever, everybody makes their own decision, but it's like, whether you take it off today, a fucking year ago.
Yeah. So
tomorrow, that fucking 1 day period where you're like, okay, I can't take it off until midnight tonight, and they're just fucking laying in their bed in their fucking old man pajamas, like, with the button down and shit like that.
You got a little thing for you can go to use the toilet. Yeah. So like going back to what you're saying about the native indigenous fucking beta male of the Northwest, like
sure, yeah, we didn't even get into that.
Yeah, like I mean, there is a thing about, if you've ever been to Washington, there is a thing up here about like when you came back from Arkansas, and that was like the first thing when you hit Oregon, like you notice like dudes are like, what did you notice about guys when you first came in and you were?
Man, it's hard to, because I've been here, I've been back and forth, and I remember I did just say that it was like an overwhelming sense of weakness in the air. Like it was, and it's not that I went to Arkansas and I was like, man, look how fucking tough these dudes are. Right. Look at all these mans.
Yeah.
I didn't go there and do that, but I was
so manly.
Like, it's when you're in an environment. I was like, Arkansas is cool. I love it. The fucking outdoors is dope. It's one of the last few states is like they try to leave it alone as far as nature goes. It's like a lot of outdoors adventure type stuff, and they're like the people are really outdoorsy for the most part. I mean, it is labeled as one of the fattest states in the union.
Is it really?
For reasons, but it's like you see a lot of in shape people and a lot of people doing stuff outdoors and like just people minding their business.
Yeah.
Dads being dads,
Sure.
The world doesn't seem to be fucking crushing them.
So
people mind their own business, and from what it looks like from the ones I talk to, like everybody kind of sees the same shit over there. They just choose to not watch it or look at it.
Yeah.
It's very down home values there,
So the politics are very different though, right? Would you say like the politics there?
Yeah, it's a red state for sure, but they have pockets of blue.
Okay.
Like if you go up to a place called Fayetteville, Arkansas, you can sense the weakness in the air. No, it's progressive there. It's a city. It's a big city, and there's, it's really like anywhere, but it's the pushy side of the liberal pushy side of like, how dare you for thinking anything else type of way.
Yeah.
That is a little bit more prevalent there. But if you go anywhere else in the state, even though it's a red state, nobody really gives a fuck.
You sense like a social pressure when you're in a more like progressive city. You feel well,
because everybody's on top of each other. Like that's the thing. There's more people are spread out. There's less people.
Okay.
And so like people are just trying to live their lives and like do their thing,
Right.
And but when you get into an area like this where it's just like the I-5 corridor and it's like so many fucking people, just everybody's all up each other's ass and like, what are they doing? Like, and it's like people are so concerned.
Yeah.
This is the part, and I brought this up the other day to you guys. This is the part, like people don't even have their own lives under control to tell, like to even start telling people how to live their lives. And it's almost like they're distracted by pretending they know it best, and it's like nobody knows what's good for anybody else but themselves. Like with me, it's like I'm literally just trying to take care of myself and my son, and then be a good friend if I can be. It's days, because I have so much shit going on, just as everybody has fucking shit going on. So why the fuck would I go out there and be like, why the fuck do you think that?
Yeah.
Why is that right? Like for me to go out, if we flipped it, for me to go out and go, wait, why do you care about other people?
Right.
Like,
right.
Wait, you think taxes are good? What the fuck's wrong with you? Like,
right.
Like,
yeah.
More taxation? Like for me to go and shit on people for believing like social programs and all these social programs are great. Like, there's reasons that people believe that the fucking heroin needle exchanges things are good here.
Right.
And maybe there is some merit to it, right? They're not fucking putting needles on the street, but they're still doing heroin,
right. Like, that's
it's a fucking Band-Aid.
State-sponsored addiction.
It's a Band-Aid,
program,
but like, who am I to go and fucking preach to the fucking world that your program's fucked up?
Right.
Unless it's like they're fucking murdering children or something.
Yeah,
like that,
so humility is one. Humility. You have to have humility to have that position.
Yeah.
And you've got life to live. You've got problems. You've got fucking solutions. You've got your life that you manage, right? And that's what I'm saying is like,
what is it? Not to interrupt, but like, what is it like? Self responsibility. What's the term? Is that the term that I'm trying to think of like being responsible for yourself and your family?
Right. Well,
self-reliance,
self-responsibility. Yeah.
I honestly believe people give more fucks about what other people are doing these days than caring about their kids, their health, like their family. Like, you see people in fights in their family all the time. It's like they don't even give a fuck about their own family. They just care about looking at a fucking Black Mirror. Yeah. And then telling other people what they think should be happening.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then when you throw a consumeristic culture into that, like of consume, self-gratification, gratification, you get fucking like, you get this like, I mean, the loudest, most people telling you to live your life are going to be arguably the people with the least amount of problems, the least amount of responsibility, the most heavily consumeristic, and easily the most affected by pop culture. These are going to be people that are affected by fashion trends, media trends. They're going to be fucking having every single subscription of fucking Amazon Prime. And here's another thing. Like, I was going on like Disney Plus, right? I just recently got into a new relationship with somebody, right? And I got a Disney Plus account to go with that, right? And I'm looking at the fucking shit.
Did you get it with the relationship, or you paid for it?
Yeah.
Okay.
But like, if you just take a look at what you're paying for and what you're fucking seeing and consuming, whether it's some woke ass fucking Marvel movie, right? You're being told what to think. You're being told what to fucking believe and whatever. But like, you're paying for that, and just go a year without fucking consuming anything, and you'll have like a fresh brain and shit.
New brain,
dude.
I got a new brain.
Yeah, like, so. Yeah, I think there's also something to having kids too. Like, I think when you have kids, I think it makes you more responsible. It takes you out of yourself a little bit. Yeah. I think you're a little bit less to sort of wag the finger at your neighbor and tell them how to live their life when you're worried about your own fucking existence. Yeah. So I think...
what about those old bitches that have kids move away?
What do you mean?
They have kids move away and they don't have children in the house. They don't have any chicks in the nest.
The
anymore.
Women that don't have kids, right? Yeah. Well, you say those are I think they're the most batshit crazy. Like, I think they really there's something
they all start HOAs where there need not
as
be
they
one.
Get older, right? They're Karens, right? Yeah. Like, you don't have there's a really, like, I don't know shit what it's like to be a chick, but like, maybe there's a lot of unhappiness that comes with not having kids for a woman. I don't know.
Yeah.
But and I think that's probably part of it. But yeah, like, I think I used to be super, like, very much no fucking kids. Like, I was not gonna have kids.
Yeah, you shouldn't fuck kids.
No. This guy over here.
This guy. I'm always waiting for that joke.
You're always that
was preloaded.
Yeah. Like, I was very, like, adamant not having it. Kids makes you a better person.
There is a difference in saying I was never gonna have kids, or I wasn't gonna fuck. I wasn't gonna have,
right. Well, that's I asked for it, right?
Yeah.
Like, but
I'm pretty big on not fucking kids. Come on. Anyway, continuing on.
But I think we have a large generation of millennials, right? Now, I'm a millennial. We're millennials, technically.
Yeah.
That did not have kids. And I think those motherfuckers are just,
Did not have... We had kids.
We did.
Yeah.
But...
Other millennials.
Would you say that you're a better person because you've had a kid?
Yes.
Yeah. I think anybody that's had a kid would agree with that. Yeah.
It makes... I mean, some people don't take the responsibility.
Right.
But it has. Like, it made me chill out a lot of times, analyze my actions as opposed to being so impulsive. It's made me think about things in a different light.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a little kid sitting there looking up at me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, on the last episode, myself and Mark talked about the implications of owning a fuck doll when you have kids. Like,
oh yeah,
let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
wow.
Like, what do you, because there's a lot, I'm not going to get into a whole thing about that, but it's like, that's an example of, like, there's certain things you can do when you don't have kids. Children, and then if you do those things when you have kids, you could potentially go to jail, right?
I mean? Like that, and you know what's interesting about that too, because listening
to be responsible.
Episode 100, guys, the previous episode behind.
Exciting. And there's there's a secret Patreon episode.
Yeah. If you didn't know this, and I'm sure most people already know this, is there are some high-end companies out there where you can pay thousands of dollars for essentially a sex doll, right? A lifelike sex doll.
Are we doing this? We're talking about this again?
I mean, but here's the thing. There's something to be said about, like, parents don't buy that shit. You just don't.
I'm sure there are some.
You think so?
Yeah.
Really?
People do weird shit, man. I don't know why there's a moth.
Yeah, if you can think about it, it exists. Yeah. So, But there was something. Did you hear about this for a really brief period of time? It was probably 2015 or 14. That there was an idea floating out there that to curb pedophilia, they were going to start making. You kind of get where I'm saying with this, yeah.
We don't gotta get into this part.
Yeah, right. But
sorry, I'm just okay.
Yeah, so there was like an ethical issue of making something like that. Yeah, like it's
that's the question we had about we brought up a lot of stuff about the metaverse and like how people aren't really, it was mostly joking. Like
right,
myself and Mark have been talking about this for a few days before we did the episode. We were like, we gotta make an episode where we talk about the perfect metaverse, and it's us just being serial killers. And so we would joke about stuff, but then we didn't get into the serious aspect. It came up, Mark brought it up, and then we didn't really talk about it. But it's like there's the way society is going, and like think about this.
Yeah.
The Oculus and all this other stuff that like it watches, it like sees what your eye is doing, and it'll how much Facebook gets into the algorithm of like what you look at. Now it's going to be analyzing your pupils, and your eyeballs, and like
where your
which
eyes are
pixel
going.
Do you look at based on this information,
right?
And then you thought the hate that you sense on there now is bad. It's like wait till this is force feeding it into your brain directly, and how it becomes more realistic, and like how it twists society. And I mean the fucking dude that created Facebook is a total like if you think about it,
he's less human.
He's absolutely has no understanding of society,
right?
But he made this company to connect them because he doesn't understand social cues. He's a weird, like anybody that looks at him would say, this guy is fucking not normal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this motherfucker's like, oh, I just want to connect people. I want people to be connected. And he's like, but then they make this fucking thing where they can analyze now what your brain is doing.
Yeah.
And it's like, it was never enough. They needed your attention constantly. And now they need to actually do more.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of implications of it. Like the whole Web3 and NFT, you're going to put so much fucking money into it.
Mm-hmm.
And then they can cancel you and take all of your money from you. They can just stop it.
So what is this? I'm not familiar.
So, NFTs.
Right.
They're essentially like digital. They become an in-game item. So like we play Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Now, if you bought a expansion pack or like a rifle that was cool, like we all have our little skins. You buy a skin.
Yeah.
In the metaverse, that skin is one of a kind. So there may be one, there may be 1,000, there may be 10,000s, but there's not like an endless supply. Like anybody can buy that shit now.
Yeah.
Like anybody can buy my big Frank the Rabbit skin if they're there but in the future with all this stuff, there'll be a limited supply.
Yeah.
It's no different than this laptop. There's a limited supply of this laptop.
Right. This will be obsolete. Yeah.
But it's just, this is a skin. But now, so you're putting money into there. And
banking on this going up in the future.
Yeah, and you can buy and sell that shit like people do with these JPEGs.
Yeah.
And then one day, and not too far in the future when all of this shit kicks off in the next 10 years, there will be people that get canceled and shut out of the program after they've dished thousands of dollars into this fucking system. And essentially, Facebook is taking your money from you.
Yeah.
And those elements. And now there's more implications than, you're just being canceled, like you're just off social media.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's like, they have the potential to destroy lives,
taking digital currency away.
Because there will be people that like that's their job now is to go and play video games, or to be an influencer in a digital way, or
Wow. So what you're saying is the way things are going is life as we know it is going to completely change.
Yes,
and we're going to be not like the old days of you getting in your car and commuting to your job and like putting in an 8-hour hard day's work.
Yeah. And if you think about how it went, like if there's the conspiracy about like this all being a test in the Great Reset and shit, it's like it put everybody in front of a computer.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, this is hard for the economy, but people are buying more shit than ever.
Right.
VR headsets and all
FedEx hasn't gone down in value.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
I mean, it's like if this was the worst economic time in forever, I didn't really experience that big of a deal other than I decided to stop doing my other business.
I'm in the financial services sector, and COVID did absolutely nothing to my business.
Yeah.
So I was,
it did, like, for me, it did stuff to other people that I had to rely on to give me supplies, and that's how it fucked me.
Your ecosystem.
But I never shut down one day until I was like, I'm done with this.
Yeah.
And it was probably like a DM with you guys. I was like, I think I'm going to say fuck this whole thing. I'm so fucking tired of just waiting for shit and not being able to put it out. It's not that I wasn't getting orders. I got too many orders during that time.
Yeah.
Stimulus checks and shit. I was like, damn, it's a good time to be alive, man.
Products were delayed and
I couldn't get anything. Supplies, inks, fucking fabric, like any of the shit.
And by the way, it wasn't really even COVID. It was just fucking public policy.
It was like that they couldn't have people working. So I was like, I can still work.
Yeah.
But those people that are putting fucking boxes of shirts together and sending it up, or boxes of ink, it's like they can't work. So it's like, that's how it fucked me. There's no shortage of money coming in. It was I just don't feel comfortable waiting 6 months to send people their shit.
Yeah.
And then knowing that this is going to be such a fucking hard go of it to like sit here with this backlog and then just fucking whatever. Yeah.
But do you think the entrepreneurial spirit's dead in this country? Like, do you think business as we know it, like
I think it's going to be, I think it's going to be a shift, but I think it's going to be increase even because people want the freedom of not working for someone.
Yeah. Okay. So the spirit of wanting to be free of an employer still exists.
Oh yeah, I think
but like, it's just going to sort of change. I kind of
live my life that way, like on a hard level. I kind of just, I move away because it's like some of the stuff I do, it doesn't really feel like I'm working for anybody. It feels still, but I still do the podcast and I still have, other shit going on that I'm just like, I still don't really work for anybody.
You're still, but like, so then it brings like all the TikTokers and the fucking Instagram influencers. I mean, they're sort of they're a version of self-employed. You know what I mean? Like they have that entrepreneurial spirit. So
yeah, but I mean, we've had this discussion. It's like, it's one thing to say you're an entrepreneur, but it's another thing to do the fucking licensing and taxes and fucking deductions and all the fucking horse shit that comes with it. It's like a different thing altogether.
Yeah. And I mean, for anybody out there that like wonder, like just because you're an entrepreneur doesn't mean you make fucking millions of dollars a year. You make on average, I actually remember hearing this, you make something like 25% less being self-employed than being an employee of your own industry. So if you are a whatever brick and mortar retail store, you're going to make less in your paycheck to yourself than if you were to go work for somebody. It's just part of the deal, but the trade-off is freedom,
Yeah, and I was about to bring that up, the freedom part. It's like really like what freedom do you have when you're working nonstop? Is that another sense of freedom? Because even with the fucking shit I do, I sit there sometimes doing graphic design for fucking all fucking night. I'll stay up. Like last night I was up till 2 a.m.
Were you?
Yeah. Doing like fucking little memes and whatever else for content. Like that's a big thing. And then waking up at 7 a.m.,
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm not pulling my watch like Jocko Willing. Look at me,
4:30,
4:30, but I got fucking 10 hours of sleep. It's like, what are we accomplishing?
I'll say this about
not talking shit on him. I'm
Jocko,
just saying.
like Jocko is the real deal. Like the one thing I'll say about his podcast is that he has dedicated his platform to absolutely sharing the unsung stories of people that have served in the military and the sacrifice that's happened. And so for that, I appreciate. There's a lot of fucking guys out there that are prominent, and I'm not going to say any names, but you know who I'm talking about. Guys that need to shut the fuck up, that have had their 15 minutes and need to go away. I don't
think any of them have to go away. Even the people that we talk about sometimes, I just like. Literally there's little things about these people that annoy the fuck out of me. It's like little shticks they have. This whole watch thing, it's a fucking shtick, dude. Like, I know you get up early, and I'm not talking shit about anybody. I'm just saying when you preach, I need 8 hours of sleep, but then you're fucking just rolling back to the left. It's like, okay, well then you go to bed earlier. Like that's not like. Give me the fucking dude that wakes up at 4 a.m. and then went to bed at 2 and he's still fucking cranking it out. Those are the people I'm like, this dude's fucking badass.
Every
he's
day.
Causing cancer in his body. Now, understand this is all jokes, so just fucking whoever
we're not
sees
bagging on anyone. Like, it's everybody's got their product and their fucking their marketplace and people that fucking but there are guys out there that and guys, I'm the civilian in the room, and I'm telling some of these guys need to shut the fuck. Well, you are now, but like, and ever since you started like really critiquing like the nuances of some of these guys, I've started looking at them, and I'm like, wait a minute, like, what the fuck are you doing? Like,
well, I was talking about it actually on the Patreon episode.
Yeah, okay.
I actually don't talk for anybody that has heard the podcast.
Yeah.
Some know I'm a veteran, but I went into depth about like I try to do different shit on Patreon because those people, donate to help the podcast grow.
Right.
And so I just did an episode I sat and talked for almost an hour about veterans and not in a negative way. It's just like why I don't talk about the military piece, and part of it is because I feel it's too fucking easy. It's too fucking easy to push that button and be like, this is what I did. Look at me. I'm going to continue to say this. I'm going to take the same photo and just put a different filter on it.
Yeah.
Because you can't tell, no matter who you are, you don't have years and years and years and years of stories to tell. And so for me, it's like, okay, now there's new followers, and now you're just fucking saying the same shit that you said a year ago. You're taking the same photos and the same captions. You're just cycling them in different paces. And now it's like, look at me, man. Look at me. Everybody look at me. This is what I did. And it's like, those stories are not unique. They're not unique to individuals. That's a collective, like, this is what everybody did. And it's like, and I understand why people latch onto the motivation and stuff and who they're actually going. They're not going for people like me.
Right.
That was a part of a certain community. Like, they're going for the people that know better.
Right. Yeah. And
it's great for them. And I don't hate on that. It's just, and actually, like, I don't hate what they're doing. It's just not for me.
Right.
But I will be one of those people that call it out forever and be like, this fucking, I won't go out and publicly say like this person, this person, this person.
Right.
And not because of fear of like repercussions.
Litigation.
It's just like, what's the point of that? Not even litigation. It's like free speech. I could say whatever.
Right.
It's, I just don't get down with it. It's not, it doesn't excite me. It's not like hearing those stories is like,
it's
cool,
been done,
man.
Yeah.
Like, great.
Yeah.
That's not me saying your service isn't worth shit.
Right. I think
I get annoyed by it because it's like,
so where's the line drawn in the civilian community before, like, the problem is a civilian community that sits there and fucking keeps going.
Well, I don't think it's a problem. I think it's like these people want to hear it. It's like, good on you. But when I think the issue is me. Like, it's not them, it's me. It's like a bad relationship.
Right. But you're not selling books either, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's some guys out there, former SEALs, that are like going on book number 25 that I think mostly civilians keep buying that shit.
I think mostly I don't, even if it wasn't the community I was a part of, I don't like when you just say the same shit over again.
Yeah.
Because I like the idea of creativity and like
new
stuff all of the time. Like I could do a fucking 100 episodes by myself and just have a new fucking topic just off the top of my head.
Because you're a super creative dude.
Well, I think too many people think they have to be relatable to a specific thing, and it's like, just open your fucking mind and think outside the box and
quit
do something
thinking
else.
Two-dimensionally and start thinking a little bit. Reach deeper in there and start.
And it's not authentic either. Just doing what other people want.
Yeah.
It's like, how do you sustain? I mean, it's sustainable because you just say the same shit over and over again. And you're like, I have this written down. I'm going to say this thing. It's on my fucking notepad. It's like, this is,
I feel kind of bad saying this about a certain Medal of Honor recipient, but if you've listened to Joe Rogan recently, there's a certain individual that, like, if you really, really, really start listening, you're like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you are rehashing the same shit. And then what you're trying to do is you're even trying to fucking convey this sort of emotional thing to, like, and you can hear Rogan fucking even try to match his op tempo a little bit. And, because what he's doing is he's almost manipulating the fucking vibe in the room where it's like, oh yeah, Like,
well, what do you do when you make yourself a commodity or a fucking product?
Yeah, well, your product has a shelf life.
Products usually like what you can do with a product, like a T-shirt or anything. You can make it better.
Yeah,
and people like, and this doesn't just go for veterans or anything like that. It's individuals that make themselves the product. It's like, how do you innovate yourself to be different? How can you innovate? Right. If you're authentic, you just are you, and it's relatable to people that are on that same kind of wave. Like I don't expect that the fucking Violent Professional podcast is going to be everybody's shit. No, right. I know there's people out there that fucking can't stand it and keep looking. I know there's people that listen to one episode and then they fucking don't listen again. I can actually see that in insights and see like see shit, what people like. And now if I just was like, I could have a way more successful go of it. I feel like it's successful. People listen to it.
Sure.
But it's like, okay, I know what I could do to fucking get more people immediately, and I refuse to do it.
Right.
So because like I want to do this podcast because I enjoy it.
Right.
If I don't want to do fucking interviews, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that. But if I'm somebody that's like just catering to fucking other people, it's like, oh man,
you used to do interviews. Like the first 10 episodes were dedicated.
I fucking
to
hated it, dude.
Yeah, I remember that.
I was trying to fucking figure it out.
Yeah.
Like, the first episode was myself and Mark, and we were talking about like mountain climbing and shit, the climb team stuff. Like that's what we were talking about. Mm-hmm. And then people wanted to be on it.
Yeah.
And I was like, cool, let's do it. They're like, I got something to say.
Yeah.
And it was like about a very specific period of time.
Yeah.
This is also something I talk about on the Patreon. The way I do episodes, I don't talk in a unless I'm doing a news article that's about a whale that ate a scuba diver. That could be relatable at any time, but I don't do podcast episodes where I necessarily talk exactly about a current event. Mm-hmm. It's all about fucking, I try to make life experiences or daily shit funny and relatable to anybody. So somebody 10 years from now could listen to any of the episodes and be like, I fucking understand. It's not like it's a movie from the 70s that's like so hard to watch because it's like
it's so time it's dated. Right. Yeah. And I mean, this is going to be like time capsule shit. Like people can probably maybe in the future. And by the way, if you're fucking still listening to this, good on you. And if you really fucking, if you're a regular subscriber, even like better on you. Like we appreciate it.
And if you don't subscribe, because there's a lot of people, this is common across all fucking media and platform, is there's people that watch stuff, enjoy it, and they don't subscribe. They just like, I have pages I look at, and I realize that sometimes when I'm saying like, hey, hit the fucking subscribe button, dickhead, I do that too. I like just I have a few pages that I constantly go back to, and I have to search them out because I like them, but I never subscribe to them, so I'm going to try to make that a practice now.
Yeah, I mean,
subscribe.
There is quality content out there. Like it's not all, and like going back to what you were saying, which is there's certain guys in the veteran community that are sort of beating a dead horse, right? Like
I kind of like the idea of banging a dead horse better, which is what the episode is.
We're gonna call this "Banging a Dead Horse." But like, where are you gonna be at, Mr. In 5 years? Like, where are you gonna be? Like, we'll see.
I wonder what the shelf life of that is. With it continues, like there's new people growing up. There's people that become 18. They see this stuff and they're like, "That's super inspirational. That's great." Yeah. But it's like, if you're around long enough, it's like these people start losing the people that are like, "Dude, you've been saying this shit for fucking years. Like, what's changed?"
Yeah,
you have your diehards, just like the Violent Professional podcast has,
right.
And like, some of my shit has shelf life too.
Yeah.
And people stop listening after a while. It is what it is, but it's like it's different than somebody just, hey, this is what I did.
Yeah.
I don't really get down with the this is what I did thing.
Mm. Right.
It's more interesting to see somebody climb a mountain and fucking document it, and then I'm going on to the next mountain. I'm like, cool. But if you're climbing that mountain and be like, hey man, I climbed Everest like fucking 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh yeah, I know.
Right.
I know you did. That's fucking awesome. That like how, and then you go, how did that feel? And then you talk about it a little bit, and then like 10 years later, you're like, hey man, it's like, what's up? And he's like, I climbed Everest. And it's like, do you do CrossFit too, motherfucker?
Yeah.
Like, I know that you did this.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Yeah. And it's like that, like more specifically, like again, the date is March 11th, 2022. Nims, whatever his name is, I forgot the Nims guy, 14 Peaks guy, right? One of the things that bothered me about that, and I know everybody loves fucking Nims.
I haven't seen this episode.
Everybody loves 14 Peaks. I'm actually going to be the first guy to say I liked 14 Peaks, but 14 Peaks fucking made me like really. There's a lot about that fucking documentary that everybody got apeshit crazy about that, like, I don't know why fucking people got apeshit crazy about it. I get it that you did 14 Peaks in 6 months and 6 days, but, I had a lot of questions. Like, it was a whole lot of fucking pimping a brand. It was brand pimping.
So
your
anything. Issue is not that he did it and then there's an accomplishment.
No, not at all. I think that's very. I didn't know there was even a record for fucking 14 Peaks in fucking that region of the planet, and he beat it in 6. I think the previous record was like 1 year or something. So 6 months and 6 days, awesome.
So what would you say your issue with that is?
My issue was with the documentary specifically. Like, as somebody who has, we've done like outdoor adventures, right? And nothing even to the scale of 24,000 feet. But I do know a lot of the prep work that goes into doing some fucking outdoor stuff. And I had in the documentary, one of the issues I had, bro, was like, they were just partying one night at fucking 15,000 feet, pounding fucking alcohol. I'm like, how are you going to get up at 2 a.m. pounding alcohol with fucking a whole bunch of fucking friends, and you're going to fucking risk your life on this fucking thing? Like, that, to me, something about the documentary, the way it was edited, did not make sense at all. Yeah. I've gone down off of even just fucking 6,000 feet, hungover. That's not a good idea. Like, so there was a lot in that documentary.
So what? Again, like, what is the issue with it? Is it the editing? Is it Nims?
It was a lot of pimping Nims. Like, it was a lot of fucking Nims's brand, and it wasn't like, hey, listen, we're actually documenting a fucking epic feat of like a world record breaking.
So go ahead.
Yeah, like the prep work involved, right? All the fucking. One of the things I noticed about it was that they were helicoptering half the fucking team into what altitude? They were dropping them off at like 14, 15,000 feet, and then they were going up from there, which is fine.
And I don't think you're taking anything away from the accomplishment of doing it.
Not at all, no. And Lord knows I don't fucking. And then one thing that's good about the documentary is they did talk about the difference between oxygen use and non-oxygen use. That was kind of a thing, like not using oxygen. That's like a big deal. But like the documentary certainly, like, I had questions. If you ever watch a documentary and you're done with it and you still have like questions and shit, like, there's something wrong with the documentary. So like,
what if it's the Tiger King documentary? And then...
dude, ironically, that was the best thing out of 2020 was the fucking Tiger.
It was
Tiger
like
King,
it was right out the gate with COVID, and everybody's like,
God.
this is like when the isolation started, and they're like, well, I guess I'm getting a Netflix membership.
You saw that documentary?
Yeah.
Did you remember when his gay fucking lover died and he was giving a eulogy at the funeral?
That was my favorite part.
And he was talking about
love the look on that dude's face.
Nuts. Like, I was like, oh my, in front of the guy's family. I was like, oh my fucking God.
Yeah.
Like, shit like that it's popular for a minute, but that is some real shit that does not get talked about years later. So, yeah.
So I guess, like, the reason I'm asking because I'm trying to figure out, it's like, it's not necessarily, and this is what I'm taking from what you're saying, it's not necessarily that people are doing what they're doing or putting it on social media. It's the intention behind all of it.
Right. There's a profit. There's a whole ecosystem of profit around that guy that he's selling books. He's making fucking speaking engagements. He's doing shit on, and good on him. That's great. Yeah. Fine. But what you're seeing, what it is the documentary that was intended to be a documentary felt more like a promotional video for his brand. I think that's, if you were just to summarize it. And that, to me, that's like, okay, great. But everybody's like sitting there thinking
that idea is like, I guess, because I try to know why I don't like certain things.
Yeah.
Like when I watch I've told you guys before, I watch certain comedians that I really question the fame. Yeah. Well, I really question why people laugh at them, and it's not like, I don't think I'm funnier than him or anything like that, or I'm trying to be a comic, because I'm not trying to be a comic. I'm just trying to fucking do a podcast, right? But everybody has a different sense of humor, but when I start going like, hey, am I the crazy one? Because I haven't laughed at a single fucking thing and it's kind of like, I'm questioning what's actually happening.
You're a
because like
thinker.
I can't be like the only person that's like, wait, this isn't funny. It's just like a lot of loudness.
Right.
And then, there's no real. It's like when the thing people do when they are demanding that people laugh, and it like puts an emotion out there. When you see somebody else laugh, it's like, like if I start laughing, it's like, and everybody else is laughing.
You don't want to be that guy not laughing,
and,
right? Yeah.
And you know, you can do it with little kids. Like you can like start laughing,
right?
You can start laughing, and they just go, "What's funny?"
Laughing, right?
It's kind of like I look at it like, you want to turn that shit off? You got to go. We got to go, huh?
Yeah, we got to wrap up.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's almost like the way little kids are. You can laugh and manipulate them into laughing, and then it's like if you have enough laughs and you are good at doing that kind of thing, you can, you know, people take notice and like, man, a lot of people are laughing, but it's like, do they really think you're funny, or is it just because everybody else is laughing and you're laughing up on stage like a hyena, and like that's your main thing? And it's not that people are laughing at your fucking jokes; it's that they're laughing at you.
They're laughing because they're affected by.
Who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
How it works when it's putting people asses in seats, you know?
Yeah.
And so I started saying that for a reason, but it's like, it's mostly like I really question. I look at people, what they're doing, and I don't really say it. I guess I try to get a sense of intent and who people are just by watching them. And so, and then when you see people like have certain things happen in their life, and it's like, yeah, but it's for, you know, not making excuses or anything for this, but I just question like a lot of things when it comes to people, how they got to certain places and their intention. You know what I mean? And so that's really like, if I'm thinking out loud, like the veteran thing, why does it bug me? And I think it's, if I could boil it down, because I've been thinking about it for a long time, because I feel like I should be into it. And I don't really know, but I feel like the intention is maybe what bugs me about it. The intent of what you're doing. You're not doing it because you want to help people.
Right.
Maybe that's the initial part of it.
It's like not, there's no noble like intention.
Yeah. And I feel like that's really lacking these days.
Yeah. Like nobility, honor, right? Yeah. Substance.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like for sure.
Yeah. The substance. It's like you're just regurgitating the same shit.
Yeah.
And then you see it when people get called out in every single community where they started lying about stuff and exaggerating, and then may turn it up, and it's like, well, it keeps working, so it's a great business opportunity.
Certain Green Beret Call of Duty characters that went and took the brand
whatever it is,
extreme.
That the Call of Duty is like, it's like, what the fuck happened to that thing, man? It's like sci-fi guns and then fucking like nothing but women in special operations. Is like, what the fuck happened? This isn't like even real.
No.
And I understand this isn't a woman hating thing.
Bedazzled AKs
like,
that's
real?
not.
Yeah, this is not what's fucking. This is not occurring. Like, and I know it's like it's a good break from reality, but it's like the intention. It's like, and maybe it's like everything for me is intention now, because Call of Duty is a turn off too, and it's like, what's your intention? You're pandering to a group of fucking people to sell more shit.
Yeah, you've also grown up. Your expectations of people has probably changed since like 10 years ago. You expect more from people.
Yeah,
you know
maybe authenticity and intention.
That's fucking normal.
Yeah,
because when you're 20, you don't give a fuck.
No,
you know,
just out there smashing poon, bro.
Yeah, you're smashing poon and
or trying to. That's
you're fucking.
And then eventually you get into a place where you don't give a fuck about it at all, and your hand is way more appealing than anything. It's like, wait, I could spend time spending a lot of money and potentially having a lot of issues on the backside and just being nagged, or I could fucking blow my load into my belly button and then call it a day. And then I can play Call of Duty and get mad about all of the female characters on it.
Or blow your load to the female characters.
Yeah, that too. That's good. Anyway,
cool.
What else you got? You got to get on the road, don't you?
Yeah, that's about it, gents, ladies and gents, players and pimps. If you guys have any comments for the show, just feel free to comment. Appreciate you listening. If you made it through this far, good on you. And you got anything to say?
Thank you for coming on again. Yeah. We'll do it again soon. And you got anything to plug?
No.
I asked Mark, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm just living, bro."
I'm not trying to grow my Instagram following.
Yeah,
I just got friends on there.
So, anyway, this was a trial run for David to kind of take control of an episode to see how he did before we try and get him fucking spun up on his own series. So keep a look out for that.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with that.
See what happens. He doesn't want any listeners, so fucking whatever.
I don't care if you listen. If you get anything from it, great. But I don't care about notoriety or any fucking growing anything. So.
And we'll see you next time on the next episode of the Bible Professional Podcast. Bye.
And in the words of great Morgan, goodbye.